Hi, my name is Kevin Fernandez.
And I'm Jordan.
And welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 games we recently played.
We do these like once in a great while just because we like talking about board games like with different categories and stuff, but we just want to talk about the games that we recently played, whether it's our first time playing those games or our 5th or 10th times that we play these games.
Plus, it is getting harder and harder to put these lists together, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We need something a little easy every now and then.
Oh, yeah. But anyways.
So, without further ado, let's count
down.
Okay, so it looks like number 10, Jordan put down Potion Explosion. This is a game that we taught way back in the day.
And we'll put the playlist in the corner in case you want to check it out with any other games that we've already featured on this list that we've already taught. We'll link it in the corner or and in the description down below so you guys can check it out.
All games that we're talking about here will show up on the screen.
Yeah.
We will not be putting it in the description, mostly because it will be like huge.
Yes.
But anyways, this is a game. In my opinion, this is probably a really, really good family game. It's a really good welcoming game. I still don't like that, but whatever. It's better than gateway game.
Yeah.
It's a really good welcoming game. Basically, all you need to do is just remove marbles from that, and if 2 marbles of the same color, like, bash into each other, that causes an explosion, so then you get to take all those marbles out there, and the goal is to try to get as many chain reactions as possible, so you can get a bunch of marbles, and then just kind of place them, complete a bunch of potions, then you can set them aside. Basically, the player with the most points wins, but you can reduce points by asking for help from the professor because you didn't study.
Yeah, and it's one of the games that Kevin and I loved, and it's been a few years since we played this game. That's why we end up playing it. I mean, Kevin and I were having like a little date game night, so we one day I get to choose a game and he chooses a game, but sometimes we do it in the same night, or like we choose another night where it's like, let's say that date night that we had was my choice, and then the next one would be Kevin's choice. That's usually how Kevin and I roll, and I just picked that game just because not only I like the game, but it's been a long time since we played this game.
Did you just say that's how we roll? What the heck?
Okay.
Number 10, Potion Explosion.
Okay, so number 9 on our list is The Princess Bride Battle of Wits.
Why did you tell me that if you were the one who was going to say it?
Sorry. Well, this game is basically based on a scene from The Princess Bride Battle of Wits. You get to play as different characters, and basically you just pick cards that represents wine and it represents poison, and each player gets a set, and you basically fill up the goblet, whether it's filled with poison or with wine, but you have to choose which goblet that you're gonna drink. So sometimes you don't know what's in it until you actually pick the goblet.
Yeah. I always play as Vicini, and I always live.
If you haven't seen The Princess Bride, you wouldn't know what we're talking about.
Jordan likes to play as the only female character in the whole game, Buttercup.
Hey, there are sometimes I play Indigo because he's also a favorite character of mine. And we actually played this game with my cousins who are new to board games, and we decided to have a game night with them and introduce this game because they're familiar with The Princess Bride, even though technically you don't need to be familiar with the movie in order to play this game, which people have used as an excuse from our experience. But they had fun with it and they really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It does get confusing sometimes if you're not paying attention, because it's like, okay, why are we revealing a card? Why are we doing this? It's like, it's just to build up some tension. That's basically it. Unfortunately, I haven't really seen that much from this company, though.
Yeah. I know they had other Princess Bride themed games like Prepare to Die and
Salute.
As You Wish. Yeah, but we haven't seen any games from them. I'm not sure. We don't know if they like went out of business or we don't know.
Yeah, but anyways, number 9, Princess Bride, Battle of Wits. Okay, so number 8 is the game Calico by
We have like a bunch of board games behind us, so I know.
Flat Out Games.
Yeah, Flat Out Games.
I just saw the Cascadia thing, and I know it's by the same.
Okay.
Okay, so if you play Cascadia, it's similar. I won't say the same because it's kind of not, but it kind of is. But it's similar. You have to place these like tiles that are like quilt pieces. You gotta make a quilt. Get like if you get like a certain pattern, then a cat comes to sleep on your quilt. Which in real life, that is frustrating because you're trying to make this quilt and the cat's just like and goes to sleep. Then you get these buttons. Then you place these like really cool buttons down, and it's like if you can get all of them, then you get like the rainbow button. It's a really fun game. It's really interesting. I didn't contact our friends from the Nerd Shelves to tell them my opinion about the game. Nerd Shelves, if either one of you guys are watching right now, I like the game. I really like the game.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy the game. It was mine and Kevin's first time playing it, and we played it with his dad, and we all were new to the game, and we were just wanted to play it because we wanted to give it a try, and plus it was a... No, it wasn't a birthday present. It was a Christmas present that you got for me, right?
Yep. Christmas.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it took us a while to finally play it, and of course we finally played it. It was a lot of fun, and I know Kevin got me that game because I'm a big cat person, so of course he got me that game for that reason, and plus it was one of the games that I wanted to try out. So
it was either that or Cat Lady.
But anyways, number 8, Calico. Okay, number 7 most recent game that we played is Photosynthesis, which is basically a game where you plant seeds and then you end up growing trees and you get points for growing those trees.
Yep, but you gotta be careful because some trees cast shadows over others. Even you can... One of the things I like about this game is you could actually sabotage yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's not like one of those games where, oh, I can cast a shadow over my opponent, but I'm perfectly fine. No. If you get a tree that's big enough and it casts shadows over your trees, they get nothing.
Yeah. Which is a bit more challenging, but that's the kind of fun of it that Kevin and I like from that game. And I know you're giving me that look because I didn't think I could sabotage myself in that game, but I did a bunch of times, and I didn't realize it until Kevin pointed out, and I was like, dang it.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just you said something that sounded like something, and I'll talk to you about it after we're done filming, because this is a family channel.
Yes, it is.
The thing that I want to talk to you about is not family friendly. Like PG-13.
Yeah, but anyways, back to Photosynthesis.
It's a good game, very colorful. Blue-orange. I would definitely say they're very well known for more abstract games.
Yeah, they are.
It's they don't have that many games where it's like this is a story, and the story will do this. It's very abstract. Doesn't really have like a clear-cut thing behind it. You know, Photosynthesis, Detective Club. Blue Lagoon is probably like the closest thing to a very story-driven game. But, I mean, even that is still kind of like, it's mostly just you place little guys around the islands and everything. Which I like. I do like that they're just a game for the sake of being a game. And it's not like, oh, this story it goes like this because Like, photosynthesis could have been like, well, you're planting trees to appease the god of nature and to flow the vines of peace and harmony flying from the hair of the wind fart or something like that. But no, it's just you plant a seed, you grow a tree, it gets bigger and bigger till it dies out, falls down, take the tree, get some points, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and it was another game that Kevin and I have playing alongside. Well, for me at least. I think Kevin said that he played it last year, but either way, we still played that recently, and it was still fun, even though I was a little rusty in the game because it's been a while, but again, it was still a fun game.
Yep. So, number 7. Photosynthesis. Okay, so number 6. This one's a classic, and it's got a little bit of the Monopoly issue, but it's still cool. It is Codenames by...
Again.
I'm sorry!
I'm trying to figure it out myself, but I can't figure out the name.
I got one.
USA
Check
Operate,
Games
but
Edition.
But it's the Op. That's the company that made that.
Or the Op, whichever one. Check Games Edition or the Op, whichever one you want to go for. Oh, there it is. I was looking for the original one, but... Well, we have like 3 copies of this one.
Yeah. The classic one, Disney, and Marvel. But we played the classic Codenames. And we call it classic or regular, but still the original. We played the original, many people say.
This game is one that a lot of gamers would probably say has the Monopoly problem, which is it's just Codenames with a different skin. But a lot of things that we as gamers don't really seem to take into account for is, unlike us who obsessively collect like everything that comes out, some people don't do that. Like the normal people, would, and when I say normal, I mean like people who probably wouldn't play board games kind of as religiously as like most board gamers. Like, you know, you take out a board game because it's like, it's game night. Once every like 2-3 weeks, you have a family game night. This is definitely one of those. So you might get Simpsons or Marvel or Disney or
Stranger Things.
There's probably a Stranger Things one. I don't know.
No, we're just saying like some games have a different like skins, like we mentioned.
The one thing that I'm like wondering, why haven't they done this, is how come there is not a James Bond Codenames? What the heck? It is like there.
Yeah, and James Bond's been around for over 50 years, like the franchise in general.
Something like that. I mean, it's like right there. And we had Harry Potter, Disney, and like Simpsons before that. What are we just going down the Disney list? But anyways, what this game is about is the original game. You have like these different code names that you kind of mix up, flip around, spread out, and you have 2 people who are the Code Master, I believe is what they call Spy Master. And the Spy Master has to give you hints by giving you 1-word clues. And you can't like say the word that you did. And you can't say any of the words that are out to try to hint about a word.
You have to be very vague with this game.
But if you're clever enough, you should be able to navigate through that pretty well. One time we had a clue giver. He kept on doing video game references. And like, Jordan didn't get in because she don't play video games.
I played some, but not a lot, so...
But I played video games like crazy, and he was starting to use Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, which is like my favorite video game series of all time, as clues. I'm like, I know what that is. It's this one, this one, this one, and this one. Like, me and like, this guy, Matt, we were like, oh, yep, it's these. It's like these. And we said them all. And we actually got a bonus one, because he wasn't meaning for that third one, but we got a third one from it, too. He didn't even think about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was pretty cool. We did do the Marvel codenames one time, but we do recommend doing it with just the pictures, not the words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is another game that we taught my cousins how to play, and they wanted to play it because we featured codenames for a grab bag or secret white elephant gift thing that my family and I usually do, and they've been wanting to try it since then, and they really enjoy that game as well, and I'm pretty sure they want to play that game again because they had a lot of fun with it.
I don't know why, but I remember for the longest time I didn't like playing it that much.
Yeah, but no.
I don't know why I didn't. I mean, it's not like it's a bad game.
No, it isn't. I thought it was a fun game.
I just can't remember why. I just didn't get into it.
For a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't bitter about it, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. But yeah, you know,
times change, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't get into Ticket to Ride for a while, too.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Maybe it's because a lot of people kept... That one I know why. It's because a lot of people kept talking about it, and I was a rebel, but I wasn't, like, the rebel that, like, you know, you normally would deal with. Like, most people would, like... You know, most rebels would, like, do something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do something stupid against their parents' wishes. And my rebellion was, my family likes Ticket to Ride, I don't like Ticket to Ride. That was my rebellion.
But anyways. So
that was number 6. Yeah. Codenames!
So number 5 that we played recently is Evolution.
Yes, and if it seems like it's so awkward that I don't know where we are, it's because Jordan has the list right next to her, and I am not looking at it at all.
Yeah, but anyways.
So this one's by North Star Games. It was originally created by a bunch of college professors to help their kids learn about natural selection, which is the true theory of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this game is about. It's about natural selection. You have to adapt your species to your environment so that way you can try to survive. So you can give it, like, most of the time people like to use the herbivore traits. So like long neck, foraging, fat tissue. Those are ones. But then, like, every now and then there's always somebody who wants to go carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Start giving it ambush, pack hunting, intelligence, which is either or, climbing, again, either or. There's like some other ones too.
Mm-hmm.
But and then we played it with the expansion climate.
Mm-hmm.
And what climate is you're adapting your species to the weather. So it's like it's getting colder, it's getting hot, so it's like it's getting colder. You have to give your guys like thick fur, or like you have to figure out how to store your food away so you can keep feeding yourself and everything. Or it gets hotter, and so you have to, you know, like go have mud wallowing or cooling fins or something like that, something to keep you cool. While that, and both of them can well, when it gets hotter, the food can increase, but when it gets colder, it can decrease.
Yeah, we did play this game with the climate expansion, and we played it one time before. We played it recently, but it's still interesting how the weather could affect the species, especially like food-wise, and we're like, oh, we'll be fine because we have plenty of food, but no, the weather can affect that. You could be like warm where you still have enough food, but you can also go really cold and not barely have any food at all.
Yeah, this is the first time when I played this game, I used the card Symbiosis. I usually don't use that card because I don't like it that much.
Mm-hmm.
But because one of my guys was getting incredibly fat in his body size, that's what he's doing. He's getting fat. I use the card Symbiosis, which as long as I'm sitting next to a fat guy, as long as I'm sitting next to a fat animal, which I was next to a fat animal.
Mm-hmm.
They say large body size, but let's face facts. You're sitting next to a hippo or a pig or some sort of big fat animal. You don't get eaten. You don't get attacked by carnivores. Mm-hmm. So my brother Keith and my brother Kyle, they were turning their animals into carnivores, but they couldn't attack me because I was too fat for them to handle. I had too many. Animals don't have muscle, okay? They mostly have fat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then nobody attacked me because not only both my species had fat tissue, they also had horns. So no one couldn't attack me because if they attacked me, I would attack back, and they lose one population with the.
Well,
horns.
remember, it's not the fat tissue is not a defensive trait.
No, it's not. The horns is.
The horns, hard shell, these and defensive hurting. Those are defensive traits. And the main thing to make sure your species is defended is increase its body size. As long as you're the same, greater than or equal to the body size of the predator, you're safe. Unless they have a card that negates that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a how to play video on this.
Yeah.
I go into way more detail on that,
yeah.
But that's basically kind of just like a little bit of a gist of it.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you have a very fat animal.
Yeah. But anyways, number 5 evolutions.
Okay, so number 4 is Go Nuts for Donuts by Game Right. I do enjoy Game Right, mostly for the Forbidden games. I like Forbidden Island, Desert, and Sky.
And Bring Your Own Book, which we haven't played in a long time. That's, for me at least. Because we also have Bring Your Own Book.
But we also have Sushi
Right.
Go.
Yep.
And we have Go Nuts for Donuts.
Yep.
And Go Nuts for Donuts, I actually kind of started playing this game during lockdown in 2020 on Board Game Arena. And this was probably one of the games that I probably fell in love with, the quickest.
Oh, yeah.
I did like it. I like how competitive it can get pretty quickly. It's funny because you all think, okay, well, I don't want to have this donut discarded, so I'm going to pick this one. They're not going to pick that one. And then you flip it out, and everybody except for one person pick that one donut that you want, the jelly filled or something like that. And although granted it was funny, I was starting to laugh because how Jordan and her cousins played this game was they played it the way that a lot of people play this game when they first play it. They pick the donuts that they like to eat in real life.
Yeah.
Which is super sabotage.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was kind of predicting that they were going to do that because I kind of did the same thing when I first played this game, and then Kevin was like,
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But they did, and of course, their strategy kind of went downhill, but they still had fun with the game even though they were like, wait, I thought the point of this game is to pick the donuts that I like. I'm like, no, each donut has different amount of points, so of course, and different power, so yeah, they didn't pay, half of the time they didn't pay attention, and they were like, wait, what?
I didn't want to mention that to anybody because the thing is even if I did explain what all the donuts do and everything like that, they're still going to pick the ones they like to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't matter, I'm going to win because I didn't win in the end. I think it was
Yeah, I think I won the game, or was it my sister? I don't know. But anyway,
somebody won that game.
Yeah, I think it was mostly me that won the game. It's been a while ago.
We're gonna get some comments from your family. It wasn't Jordan who won.
Oh.
I don't think they watch these videos.
Maybe they do without us knowing, though. But we never know.
They don't comment.
Yeah. But still. Anyways.
Yeah, so, one of the things that's really cool about this game is it changes depending on the number of players you have. So you start off with like one type of deck when you're playing with 2 players. Then you add another deck when you have like 3 players. Then you add another deck when you have 4 players. Then you add another deck when you have 5 or 6. And so it adds like different donut cards. So you don't always have the same combination of cards.
Oh yeah.
As you do if you were playing like a 1-player, a 2-player game, or a 3-player game, or something like that. So it's a very interesting game. It's also very good to kind of speed it up.
Oh yeah.
Although granted, unless you play with my family, then it's like you play it, they start talking to they start having this conversation and ignoring the game, and then they go, "You told me it was only gonna be 10 minutes." Well, it is when you're not talking all the time.
Yeah, it not only happens with my family, it also happens with Kevin's family. So, no, we're not attacking our families or anything. It's just from our experience, they complain how long, like, they know how long the game is, and then with all the talking, it takes longer.
Well, you're not attacking your family, but I am definitely attacking my family.
Again, anyways, number 4, Go Nuts for Donuts. Okay, so number 3 game that we played is Marvel Villainous.
That's right, Marvel Villainous. Infinite Power.
Yeah.
To be specific, we did play Infinite Power. Jordan has not played Mischief and Malice.
No, I haven't. We actually played this game with my dad recently, and it was a lot of fun. This is basically similar to Disney's Villainous, but this is Marvel Villainous, so of course there's a bit of difference. And we do enjoy this game. This is kind of like a little more advanced level of Disney Villainous. So, I mean, that's my personal
Well, that's because we play it at the highest level.
Yeah.
To control the level, you just need to take away some of the events. So all the events go away if you want like an easy game. If you want kind of a medium one, you just bring back some of the events, and then all of the events if you want to have like this super difficult game.
Yeah, the sad part is we didn't take out any event cards. So, yeah, but it was still a lot of fun. I know my dad really enjoyed it. I think it was Killmonger, if I remember correctly, that you played.
Yeah, he was, game. But he was like so Killmonger is definitely like one of those, you can't do this unless you do this, but then you have to do this. You have to do everything in a specific order, so you have to make sure everything falls in line. It's kind of like Lady Tremaine in Disney Villainous. In Disney Villainous, Lady Tremaine, you have to have Anastasia or Drizella in their ball gown, in the ballroom, with the prince. Wedding bells need to be playing, and you also need to activate that.
Yeah.
And you need to have, and in order to unlock that, you need to have the invitation. So you have to do everything in like a certain order. I mean, you can kind of be a little frivolous with Anastasia and Drizella, but you have to make sure that this stuff is there. And if it's not, then you can, like, it is definitely one of those, like, someone could just take away that, and then you have to, like, kind of start all over again. So, those villains are always so hard to try to get. Kind of hope, it's one of those ones where you gotta just hope that everybody just is kind of ignoring you.
Oh, yeah. I know I played as Hela, and I almost won as her until Kevin or my dad ruined that for me, and I was like, oh, shoot. And my plan was working, but now it's not, and I need a plan B, so. But I don't remember which. Wait, you were Ultron, right?
I was Ultron.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who won that game. I think you or my dad.
Me.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I won because I managed to get my Iron Legion. I managed to upgrade myself all the way up to the top.
Yeah. But it's still a fun game. We like Marvel. We also like Disney. Like we mentioned, there's Disney's Villainous. But if you want to try a Villainous game, I think we would suggest to try Disney's Villainous because I think that's the easiest.
Unless you really like Marvel, then you could you could play this one. Just take out the events.
Yeah.
That's all. We will let you know how Star Wars Villainous was, because that's coming out soon.
Yeah, sometime this year, and we're excited about that.
Yeah, so we'll let you know our opinions on Star Wars Villainous, probably in our top 10 games we demoed at Gen Con.
If it's there at Gen Con, we're hoping it's going to be there for Gen Con. Pretty sure it will be, because...
If not that, then Bigger and Badder will definitely be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think we need to demo that. I mean, we kind of already won it, so...
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2 is another one of those games that I did not really have an interest in playing it, but somehow I managed to be convinced otherwise, and I can't remember how. That's the thing. I can't remember how I got interested in this game, because I remember when I saw the reviews on Dice Tower and everything, I was like, oh, no, I don't want to play that game. And then, like, I think it was because I watched Our Family Plays Games. I think they mentioned it in one of their videos, and I don't know, it's just their energy and enthusiasm for this hobby is too infectious, and then I'm like, oh, I need to try that. I mean, like, seriously, I'm gonna seriously want to try, like, every single game that Mick and Starla have talked about. I already got, like, 3 more that I need to try still.
But number 2 game that we played recently is...
Downforce. Downforce is a game by Restoration Games, so naturally that means it's a old game that went extinct. Thank you, Monopoly. And then Restoration Games restored it. This is a betting racing game. The goal of the game is to try to get the cars that you bet on across the finish line first. So you have them in first, second, and third place. And you bet money, you bet like money on this race, and the more cars that come into the first 3 spaces, the more money you'll win. You get a bonus, I believe, if it is your car that you own. But you do not need to bet. You do not need to bid on your own car. So you could bid on like somebody else's car. So I could bid on Jordan's car, and Jordan can bid on my car, even though we don't own either one of those cars.
Yeah.
So I could bid on blue, and Jordan could bid on, I don't know what I have, because there's no purple.
Orange.
I guess orange.
Just throwing out a color there.
Yeah, I guess orange.
So Chicago Bears colors.
But we played this with my family. It was like basically my whole family.
Well, except 2, your brother and his girlfriend weren't there. I think they went home early when we were playing this.
Oh, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. We played this game, and a lot of people were what they were trying to do, again, this was like, even though we told them, you don't have to bid on your own car. Everybody tried to bid on their own car. And they're like, oh, wait, but my mom, she just bid on her car, which came in first, so she made, like, a ton of money. And she didn't bid on it the 3rd time, but you can bid on your own car, like, the same car, like, 3 times, if you want. There's no rule against that.
Yeah.
But I like the maps in there. There's one map that's kind of a basic, like, racetrack, but then you flip it over, it's like a lakefront map and everything like that. And this has got map packs too, just like Ticket to Ride. I am gonna probably want to get those.
Because they're different race tracks, right?
Yeah, it's an addiction. I know I have an addiction, but I don't want to stop.
But anyways.
This game's pretty fun, even though it has the lack of purple. But most games do. So, and I still have fun with them. But seriously, more purple. I do like this game. I like how you play your card. That's how you do it. You play cards, and you move each color card the number of spaces that it says on the card. And then the one who scores the most points is the winner of the game. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. You can make it more family-friendly by taking away the betting. I don't know if anybody's played that with their kids, with the betting. In my opinion, it just makes it simpler. It's a lot more easier.
Oh, yeah.
I think they mostly just do it so that way kids don't feel bad for not coming in first place.
Yeah.
But, you know. But anyways, you know, it's a great game. I got the Target edition, so it's got like the little window of cars in it. Originally, I was gonna get Horrified American Monsters, but that one didn't come out yet.
Yeah. And we did have that game on your Christmas list.
But I did want Downforce too, so I did have some, like, you know, ideas of what I wanted to get. I mean, it was gonna be Horrified, then Alien, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, Downforce, I like Downforce, so I went with Downforce. And I know it's weird, but for some reason, her parents always have us shop for our Christmas presents, so
early. It's just because they don't want to wait until Black Friday.
I think the weird part is not the fact that we do it early. I think it's the fact that we're actually like, okay, let's see, what do I want for Christmas? Okay, I want that, and I want that, and that stuck to my arm, and I want that. You know, we get to pick the games we want. We get to pick the games or the toys or, you know, the clothes, whatever we want. I mean, clothes is fine, but, you know, still, you knowing what you're gonna get for Christmas isn't like part of the fun of Christmas or birthdays or something like that. Is you don't know. Well, except for me, because I always figured out what it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you never guessed a birthday present for me before you opened it.
No, there was the one time I did.
Yeah, you did.
Because you had that tell where you start giggling.
Yeah. But anyways, before we get carried away.
Yeah, so that's number
2.
2, Downforce.
So, the number 1 game that we played recently is Death on the Cards. Or Agatha Christie's Death on the Cards.
Yeah. Agatha Christie's Death on the Cards.
I just don't know what game company made that.
Mondo? I'm gonna totally mispronounce that. Modifius. I probably mispronounced that. I do apologize if I did. If anybody knows how to properly pronounce that, please put it in the comments below, so that way when we do a how to play video for that, we can do it justice.
Basically, in this game, we're all like playing detectives, but there is one player that is a murderer, and you have to figure out who's the murderer. So you play different cards that help you figure out before the murderer gets away with murder, basically.
The murderer gets away with murderer?
Murder, that's what I meant. Sorry. Rhyme words today.
We don't want them to run away together. What are these, Bonnie and Clyde? You know, they weren't murderers, they were just bank robbers.
No, I know, but...
They probably killed some people, but you know.
No, but still, that's the premise of the game. I actually got this for Christmas, actually. From my family, I think. Yeah, I think it was my family because they know that I like Agatha Christie. And
well, my family knows that too.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
It's not that straightforward.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can use like characters from all of Agatha Christie's books, not just the famous ones like Hercule Poirot.
Or Miss Marple.
Yep. But like some of the other ones. And they even give you like quotes from the books and everything like that. It's really cool. And one of you is the murderer. And you have to figure out who's the murderer by kind of like accusing people, and they can flip over a card, and that could be like the murderer, or they could flip over another card, and it could be just like, oh, it's not that bad, but I'm going to be publicly humiliated. Because you're a bunch of, like... This is like... I want to say Titanic era.
Somewhere around there.
Titanic era rich people. So, your social status means everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like now where you could basically say whatever about rich people and they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, back in those days, it was like, you know, you had to like have a certain image, even if it was just all a bunch of, you know, nonsense. If it was just a bunch of nonsense, like you knew, like the public knew you were like not that good, but still you had to like look presentable.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's really cool. I like the artwork. They're a little more cartoony.
Yeah, but it's good artwork, and plus I really like play blames on someone. Even though Kevin, like before we even played this game, Kevin thinks I'm gonna always blame him because I've done that with him in the
Because
past.
every single one of these social deduction games that we've played, I have always been accused of being the werewolf, the mob boss, the murderer. And it's like, seriously, like, first Christmas I spent with her family, we played, what was it, Mafia?
I think it was Mafia or Werewolf.
Or One Night Werewolf. So we played one of those games, and it was like, literally, I was like, okay, who do we think is the mob boss? Kevin, right here. This guy right here. This guy did it. He did it. And I'm like, will you shut up? I'm trying to impress these people. So anyways, I was out of the game, and I was the medical officer. So no medical aid, thanks to Jordan. Because somehow, just screaming Kevin multiple times and pointing, definitely gets her family on her side, and they go, oh yeah, I think Kevin is it. He looks suspicious. I'm like, well, I was the medical officer, so no medical help for you guys. I'm in jail now. You arrested a doctor. Way to go.
But anyways, this game is a really fun, quick game, and then with a 2-player game, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be as fun because who else would you accuse other than the player in front of you or next to you?
It's played differently with 2 players.
Yeah.
It is played differently with 2 players. With 3 players, that's where you do the...
Yeah. You, like, point and stuff.
Vogue. But it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. I do like what are they called? I honestly can't remember. I like the cards where you get to mess with people and do things. I forgot what they're called. Events?
I think they're called event cards.
Probably not, but, you know, I'll correct myself later. This is like the first time we played it, okay?
Yeah.
Cut us some slack! And this is like, you know, games we recently played, not games that we know very well that we played.
Yeah. Yeah, some games on this list was new to us, and some were games that we already played before.
One was new to us, and the rest was... but I think we were so clever with this, the audience won't be able to tell. But one of the cards I liked was the husband and wife detective pair.
Oh, yeah, me too. Even though
Where
I didn't use them, but I like the ability.
You can accuse each other, and, in order to play cards, you have to have a set of that card. So you can't just play one card. You have to play whatever the set requires. So one character I had required another copy of him or a Harley Quinn, and it's not the Boston girl. It's not the psychologist from Boston. Yeah, it's not the therapist from Boston, okay? So you had a Harley Quinn or another copy, or you could have his wife or husband or whatever, whichever one you have in your hand.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then extra ability activates, which means that you can't stop it because there's a card that can stop an investigation. Oh my gosh, I'm running blanks. Do you remember?
I think it's called Oh No You Don't card, where you stop someone from using their ability.
Or Not So Fast or something.
Not So Fast. That's what it's called. That's
okay. Not So Fast. So it's Not So Fast. So you play Not So Fast. Oh No You Don't is what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
And that's a different game, which we have not recently played.
No. We haven't played that game in a long time.
Yeah, so Oh No You Don't can prevent that, but if you have the couple investigating together, Oh No You Don't...
you mean Not So Fast.
Not So Fast, yeah. Not So Fast does not work on them. I'm assuming that because, like, the wife kind of, like, distracts the cops while the husband's investigating, or the husband's distracting the cops while the wife investigates. I don't know. But it's a very interesting game. I'm hoping that we can play it with more people than just... I think we just played it with 3.
Yeah, we just played it with 3 players.
I'm hoping we can play it with more than 3 players just to see
I think it goes up to 8, I believe.
How that feels. Well, we'll have to check later.
Yeah.
But anyways, number 1, Agatha Christie's Death on the Cards. Okay, well, that is our top 10 games we recently played. We did this together because I already did one by myself, and Jordan's going to be doing her top 10 list next month, and I didn't want her to do a top 10 list by herself twice.
Yeah, which makes more sense to us anyway. And we haven't done a top 10s list together in a long time.
Yeah, it would have been nicer if we both were sharing the list instead of her just, like, having it close to her.
Yeah,
and
sorry
I can't
about
read
that.
it, so I'm kind of, like, mumbling a lot.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, of course we're going to put this in a... list. I have no clue which one I'm going to do because this is a both thing. So I don't know if we're going to use my desert or your, like, flying pirate ship.
Yeah.
I might do the pirate ship. But, you know, let us know, like, what games did you recently play? Put that down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from that you, like, really enjoyed. It doesn't necessarily...
Or if there's other games that we mentioned that you want to try, let us know in the comments down below.
Yep. As for this video, if you enjoyed it, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to be notified for top 10s lists just like this. Jordan will be doing a different top 10s list because it will be her birthday next month. It's her birthday! Also, be sure to check out our Patreon page to support the channel. We want to thank our current Patreon supporters. Your donations mean a lot to this channel, so thank you very much. It gives you early access to how to play videos. We did have Oceans on there for early access, but the next one will be a game called Envelopes of Cash. So yeah, gotta check that out. Be on the lookout for the next top 10s list, but until then, thanks for the views.